What? Is there more evidence available for the bullshit that we drive home? Ladies, Ola says, what did he do? Let me tell you, the first thing he did wrong was be born. That's number one. You can pretty much fill in the blanks after that. Okay, let me do my shout out so we can go ahead and get this flat face fuck together. Of course, Ola's in the building. Maria Alma's in the building. Live Life is in the building. Sun Goddess is here. Coco Fit, hey boo, hey. We have Beautiful Stranger. Cam. Pony is up in here. Black Widow is up in here. The Sigma Fatale is here. Hey Lola. Pretty Doll B is here. Love Plenty is here. Yes, indeed, you made alive. Sun Goddess is here. Hello, hello. Hi, Sarah. How are you? Aisha B is here. Got a lot of the girls in the building. Y'all come through. Y'all come the fuck through, and I love you for it. Harold Deer is here. Kama is here. I'm just in this building. I saw Corey here earlier. Who else we got? NYX is here. Ava's here. Baby Queen is here now. You already know what I'm getting ready to say. If I didn't call your name, it's still love because you're going to see your shit up on the screen. Well, ladies, I saw in some of the comments that most of y'all, well, not most of you, some of you don't know who Brother Polight is. Let's pull up a picture. Well, you saw a picture of Brother Polight, but let's pull up his article. First, let me tell you who he is. He's a dipshit. That's number one. He is a YouTube sensation in the Hotep circles. He gives very pandering speeches about the Black woman being God. He's a polygamist. He's a Black power revolutionary that puts mascara on his eye, mimicking the eye of Horus. Oh, did I tell you he was an ex-prison inmate? Brother Polight is versatile, and to add on to his very newest talents, for lack of a better term, he's an assaulter of minors. Let's pull him up here. If you're wondering where he came from, he fell out of his mama's ass, and he's of Nigerian descent, and he's just a scammer. He scams on everything. I hope y'all are understanding where I'm coming from. This man does anything to get money. He'll scam you out of it. He'll lie to you for it. He'll steal it even. But remember what we talked about before, where we said, when somebody wants to line their pockets, where do you head? WSOG, where do you head? To Black women's pockets.
That's where they're lined. That's
to
where the
Black
money
women's
is.
pockets. So if you pander, right, Black women unzip their purses, grab their debit cards, and start making it rain on these fuck face fucks. Well, the person you see in front of you is Brother Polight, sitting there looking like, I won't go there. I'll save that for behind the wall. But apparently this lady that's next to him was his girlfriend, and he sexually assaulted her 14-year-old daughter. Okay, we're not surprised by that. It says arresting news. Brother Polight, aka Michael Nowak, is becoming viral on social media platforms. Well, he was already viral. This man is worth millions of dollars, by the way. He was charged and arrested for R-wording a minor. Okay. They breezed right over that because I'm assuming that these people are some Blackistani citizens and started talking about him being a rapper and talking 7 languages and all this shit here. But the most important thing you need to know, Black people revere him, and he's also an assaulter of children. When you're 14 years old, you are a child. But we shouldn't be surprised, right? Because he's a follower of Dr. York, who's also a sexual assaulter of children. I'm going to show y'all proof that these people should have seen this shit coming a mile away. A mile away. Dr. York is in jail. He'll never get out because his crimes were so fucking fucked up that it left dozens of children scarred. But let's see Brother Polight excuse the behavior of Dr. York. Okay, it says Brother Polight defends Dr. Malachi Z. York while interviewing his victim. Now check it out. The dusty on the left in the green shirt, he was a victim of Dr. Malachi York, and so was his sisters. The animal that you see on the right with the galaxy-sized forehead, that's Brother Polight. That's Brother Polight. Let's hear what this fuck face has to say.
People that I can strongly confirm, it'll be about 15 or 20 people.
Obviously, if over 15 to 20 people, children were being molested, we have to now say, how come the adults wasn't saying nothing? Shouldn't they be locked up with Dr. York too? How come they're free to testify about it?
You understand the adults were separated from their children. You know, so you had the girls in one house, the boys in one house, the women in one place, the brothers in one place. You know, everybody was separated. So it wasn't no house with a family, and then you could recognize when your child is gone.
I mean, to tell the world that none of these children had enough sense in their mind to go tell their parent that this isn't right. I've been touched sexually. I've been not.
He sat there and blamed some children. Yes, let me tell you how old the kids were. They were from pampered age all the way up until teenagehood. And he's sitting in front of one of his victims because Dr. York didn't care what sex the child was, telling him it was his responsibility. They should have saw this coming a mile a fucking way. A mile away. Let's keep going just a little bit, and then I'm gonna get his fucking face out of here.
One child out of all these children. It could have stopped so long ago if just one child or just one adult. What caused all of this to come out? First, you hear nothing from nobody.
Yeah.
You hear nothing from nobody. Then you hear something from everybody, all at the same time.
They might not have been the medium to talk to anybody about the situation.
Not even their parents.
I mean, that's why, of course, I could have I could have told my mother.
We chose not to.
It's not that I chose not to. To really explain it with.
He said, you didn't tell your mother. He said, I chose not to. As a sexual assault victim myself, you cannot say to a victim, why didn't you tell? Want to know why? Because nobody pays for sexually assaulting Black children. They don't. And Black men are very aware of this shit. That's why you're his number one victim. That's why you get assaulted at 62%. And there was a helmet head mammy earlier today trying to say that it was only 40%. I brought the receipts. It's always Blackistan making it our fault that these assholes do what they do. But you won't have to listen to them that much longer. I'm almost done, y'all.
It really take a lot, but I mean, you're not really yourself when you're not. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got no esteem. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got no. You know what I'm saying? You can't even face, like, my mother had to. She found out from my sister, and she came to me and asked me about it. And I still really couldn't even tell her. I had to say, well, I had sex with the girl and he was there. And that was my way of telling her that, yeah, it happened. You know what I'm saying? But that's what the initial conversation. And this is like 2 weeks before we left. It was something I was under. I couldn't tell my mom. I didn't tell nobody. It was something that held me to not say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because I looked up to him as my dad. Because I looked up to him as a person that he was. I thought he was a God figure. I thought he, you know, and all those reasons, like, you know, I'm trying to like see what the why is this going on? What's the significance? I'm young. I don't even know what really into sex, and I don't.
Why do you think he's locked up for 135 years underground?
Skipped right over that man's abuse, right over it, and went straight to the perpetrator, making him out to be the victim. Why do you think he's locked up for 100 years? Bitch, he's locked up for 100 years because he molested 100 children. Anything else, Galaxy Head?
60 feet in a super max penitentiary with no one with a case like into his own amongst cannibals. Not because what you think he should be locked up for, why you think he's locked up.
Well, I mean, to answer your question in the way that I think you're asking it, you know what I'm saying? Because one, you have a Black leader that was getting Black people together and was building a sovereign nation.
Tell me if this is something you believe. That's not what I want to hear. What do you personally believe? Dealing with the facts of the matter, not denying you of your experience. But
the gall of him to say deal with the facts of the matter when he won't deal with the facts of the matter. He's sitting there manipulating a sex assault victim, okay, to say what he wants him to say. But fuck all of this. Let me ask y'all a question. What do you think the response from the Black community was? I'll go to you first. Unapologetic.
They were like, well, what did the kids do? What were they doing? Why didn't they tell anybody? It doesn't fucking matter. Like, as somebody who's been a victim of sexual assault, like DZ said, why would you blame the victim? Like, nobody gives a fuck about Black children. Nobody. And that's why these motherfuckers think it's okay to abuse them. And you bitches ain't helping.
The Black community takes victim blaming to an art form. We finesse it like it's pancakes and sausage. And every community, especially with the female adult are victims, okay, they tend to try to blame the victim. The Black community goes way beyond that in an effort to cocoon and basically save, especially a Black leader. Why is it always the leaders who are going around touching kids and women? They have access. The Black community gives them unfettered access to these kids, and in order not to shoulder any blame or any responsibility for doing what they did, blame the victim.
Yoni Egg Mammies, I'm placing the link in the chat because I would love for you to make an attempt to defend this man. Because I saw y'all over there on Twitter making an attempt to defend him. You Yoni egg trying to tighten up my pussy walls ass bitch so it can be like my young daughter's genitals. Yes,
Right.
I said it. You following pork chop pimps all over the place, no matter what they say, ass bitches. Shea butter on your earlobes, ass bitches. Click the goddamn link.
Should have put a bullet between that nigga eyes. That's what they
Word.
should have did. Shouldn't even put him in jail.
I mean, you mooning
And this
idiot
Polight.
and dumbass in the fourth house ass mammies. I would love for you to come and click this link because
That'll never happen.
you set your ass on Twitter and blamed that little girl. That's a little girl. I remember being 14. If you remember being 14, you know being 14 is being a little fucking girl.
Not in the black community. You're a grown woman.
Oh, the minute you hit 8, and man, you should be keeping house, taking care of the kids, paying bills. I mean, really.
My blood, like I am shaking. Like I'm so angry. Like the number is definitely higher than 62%. It's probably more like 80. Even that seems a little low to me.
Yeah, it's higher than what Helmet Head said earlier. The self-love specialist said it was 40. But we're gonna prove today that it's
She
higher.
said it was 40.
Girl.
I would like to slap her and put some real locks on her head. Slap her so hard that the natural hair will grow above the effing helmet. Maybe she'll
Oh
have
my
some
God.
sense.
That would be a sight.
They're worse than the niggas.
Thank
Like,
you.
it's ridiculous.
Look at this shit here, y'all. This is Brother Polight's Facebook page. They let him get away with what he's doing. He came on here and told a flat out lie about his absence. All right. He said, "My apologies for missing class. Blessings in abundance to you." I hate when they talk like I hate that dramatic ass talk. "My apologies for missing class this week. I just got word that my father's time on earth has expired. Bitch, he died.
Good.
Quit acting a fool. I am not in the right headspace to teach at this moment." He couldn't teach because his ass was in jail, eating shit on the shingle and probably trying to protect his booty hole because he know what it's like to be molested because he's a perpetrator. "I will be back soon and stronger for teaching." I can't. It's actually my therapy.
Okay, the black community, this dude with his nose galloping all over his face from east to west, okay, they're going to turn him into a leader. They're going to turn that piece of shit into a leader.
This is the black leader, y'all, that's touching children, and nobody called him out on this. Strength and power. King, condolences, my brother. Nobody is even mentioning that baby. Nobody. He went from going, "the black woman is God," to molesting a future black woman. But when you think of wholesomeness, I don't really think of Polight. I don't know how he was able to pull this off in front of these black folk for so long, but hey, he looks like a struggle rapper right here.
If he can do it, I'm sorry. That means to me that people in Blackistan are desperate. They'll put anybody, they'll put a straw man up there. They'll take anybody, any black man, dress him up in a lapel and some ice cream cones or whatever, some bad perfume, and call him a fucking leader. And he could come right out of jail.
All I see is desperation right here. You're absolutely correct. But with this girl here, all I see is desperation. Because I'm going to tell you something. Someone would say, well, he just got in trouble. That's an older pic from earlier in the year. Actually, he is an ex-inmate already. He didn't have to pull what he pulled this past week because he was already an ex-Crip, sis. So, yeah, this is desperation.
Right. Imagine being so desperate that you're like, "Oh yeah, I'll share my man with these other women in my house, and we all share the same dusty ass dick." That nigga will look like he give bitches BV for fun. Like, stop. It's ridiculous.
And that's the thing. The preachers do the same thing. They could come from the pastor's study smelling like P-Funk or whatever, smelling like sex, and let's talk about the Lord. They are desperate and stupid. I can understand being desperate and strategic. That's something else. But being desperate and stupid gets you this.
Stupid ass. Oh, Lord.
Welcome to the panel opinions. Let me let Elle up here too. But have y'all noticed that these ones that preach the black power and natural hair and reaching for the universe ass bitches, they never pick the natural ones. Y'all got to see through bullshit. That's an older picture. And he has tons of pictures like that, even with white women. What's happening?
They love white women, especially hoteps. They keep a white woman.
They love white women.
But the white man is the devil.
Guess who not financing them?
I'm gonna keep taking devil dick. So
guess who not financing them though? They not stupid enough to finance them at all.
Exactly.
What you got, Elle?
I'm in his house tonight.
Hey, 90s rapper.
Yeah. I would say I'm surprised, but you know what, y'all? I'm really not surprised. When you have a whole bunch of desperate women running around here, not wanting to acknowledge the fact that 98% of the time we are smarter than men, and we are all smarter than black men. And they sitting up here looking for somebody. Donut, sorry. They sitting up here looking for somebody to lead them when they don't need to be led.
You didn't share the donut.
Why you looking to be led? You lead you where? They don't know what they doing. They make bad choices. They got bad credit.
They stink.
They do stink. I mean, it's just this is what happened.
Got on here and they tell each other not to be single. I'm sorry, they tell each other not to be stepfathers, right? But then you got somebody that's trying to be a stepfather. You might want to take a double look at that. You might want to look at
exactly.
You know, if he's so eager to be a father to your children, when you know good and fucking well black men don't like being stepfathers.
They hate kids. They hate kids.
They don't like taking care of nobody. We know that.
They don't like their own children. Come on.
They don't.
Exactly.
Thank you, sugar honey. I just can't. And let's switch pages here for a second, y'all, because we got to deal with this only 40% nonsense that specialists are saying that's happening.
And she knows she a motherfucking 40% lie.
Goofy ass bitch.
You know she was doing that in protection of the Dusty. She even mentioned white men. I don't know what white men have to do with this. I really don't. I don't know what they have to do with this, but honey, miss me.
They kill me with that shit. Well, white men do it too. Well, bitch, we not talking about white men. We talking about you niggas.
Because they're always trying to deflect. Oh, well, see, they did no, that ain't even what the fuck we talking about. That ain't what we talking about, and that's not who we talking about.
They usually believe it when someone from the community says it. So let's go ahead and see what Black Entertainment Television says about 40%.
It's not even owned by black. Oh, never mind.
Listen, honey, they don't know. They don't know.
Y'all stupid. Y'all make me sick. Like, I want a mammy ass bitch to get up here because I'm ready to flame that bitch today.
What that say, y'all? I don't know where DZ getting that high ass number from, honey, ma'am. It's there. It's all you got to do is look for it. And
that's just little girls. That's just
higher than that. It's higher than that.
It's higher than that. Exactly.
Yeah,
it's higher than that. Everybody in the medical community, even the white folks, they know it's higher than that.
Said person pretended to Google, I guess, and said it was only 40. Now, why? There's a victim right now. There's a victim that's going viral that was molested by Polight. And your main goal is to make sure that everybody knows that they don't do it that much. That's what you're going to do?
40% is still a lot. Like, what the fuck?
It is still a lot. Yeah.
That's what makes me sick about them. They actually think that 40% is commendable. That's disgusting.
Stupid.
I can't. I can't, y'all.
You know, and if black men were men, they would check Polight. They would make sure he's no longer Polight.
Oh, girl, they stay on code.
They share his sentiments, so they're not going to say anything.
Exactly. Yep. They're not men. They're not men.
In the men,
they stick up for each other no matter what.
If you got your period, apparently you're old enough. If you got your period, according to some manosphere folks, I know some girls that got theirs at 9. So what you saying, babe?
It's ridiculous.
Like, disgusting.
We're literally not even 15% of the fucking population. and over half of our fucking children are being molested. That's ridiculous.
And this is just reported. It's just reported. Hell, I only reported one of mine. So I think we can at least do the 80s. I think we can do the 80s.
That's
And
still low.
yeah, I agree. Because just even looking at this panel right now, a significant amount of people up here have experienced some bullshit with these niggas.
Well, when I was in 4th grade, we had an 11-year-old pregnant.
Oh my God.
She's just fast. No, some old ass, disgusting ass nigga mess with her.
Yep. She was 11 years old, and there was this big write-up in the Gazette. It was a big write-up in the paper about this child, an 11-year-old black girl.
I guess we gotta wait for the other side to come out because Polight may have a side, and she probably wanted it. She lied. Welcome to the panel.
They found sperm in her
in 6 different spots.
Like what the fuck?
They so fucked up. The mammies over there don't even believe forensic science around this bitch. That's how you know they mentally ill.
So that person said black children don't report the R word. That's not true. A lot of them, some of them will say something, but guess what? They mama not gonna believe them, or they mama do believe them, but she not gonna do shit about it.
Or if your mother does believe you, she's beating your ass for it.
Exactly.
I've seen that.
Oh, go change those shorts. Don't wear that around them. Why the fuck they still around? You know they touch kids. Why they still here? Why these niggas still alive? First of all, why y'all bringing them around? Never mind.
Another statement that's a red flag is when you hear a man say age of consent too many times. Okay?
Yeah.
If he know the age of consent in every goddamn state, his ass is probably a pedo.
Fucking weirdos.
So I didn't mean to cut you off, Elle.
Oh no, I didn't mean to cut you off. I think I got a lag, but no. See, this is the shit that I can't stand. See, I was reading the comments and somebody in the comments talking about what is this, a white supremacist page? Like, okay, why can these little dark whores go around violating and being disrespectful? And then if you talk about what they did, you're wrong. You're not supposed to talk about it. But nobody says anything for the behavior that they're doing for us to be able to talk about it. But then if we talk about it, oh, you trying to bring a black man down? Like, shit, he already brought himself down.
He been down. Fuck you mean?
My problem is they're bringing everybody. They brought the entire community down with them decades and decades ago. They're just still doing the same old shit, different day.
My God, welcome to the panel, Trinity.
Hey y'all.
Hey.
I just wanted to say something really quick that like my thing with the mammy situation and how black children do actually speak up, and sometimes when they don't, because that person said that black children don't speak up. That's actually not true. There's actually many reasons why they don't speak up. For one, when they do tell, not only are they being punished by their parents, but then they'll be punished by the entire family or the whole neighborhood, because everybody bands together to protect these males. And and my thing is this, and and people say, oh well, she shouldn't have been fast, and she should have pull her skirt down, or she shouldn't be walking like this, or she shouldn't be wearing this type of lip gloss. And it's like, well, if you feel like these men are looking at your child a certain way, then really the problem isn't the child. The problem is the looking at that child a certain way. Because I remember growing up, I was told that I needed to change my clothes, or I needed to stop wearing lip gloss, or whatever the case may be. Like, I've been told that, and as a young child I was very confused and didn't know what I did wrong, and I didn't know that me wearing a Hello Kitty skirt was too grown. Like, I didn't understand that at the age of 7. So that kind of pisses me off a little bit when people say that, oh well, you just need to stop being fast. A child cannot be fast. And it's sad that little black girls are very over sexualized at a very young age. And I remember I went to my auntie's house. It was a family barbecue. I was around 7. and I didn't know what I did wrong, but I had a outfit on, and I didn't understand that it was too grownish looking.
It wasn't too
See,
grownish. They
see,
was
this
just
shit
being
make me
gross.
want to fight.
Like,
This
oh,
shit make me
like,
want to fight. They hurt these girls all the time, and then motherfuckers want to sit up here and try to defend that shit. You can't talk about them in your childhood without coming to tears at some point. This is the shit I'm talking about, and people want to defend them. Sorry about what happened to you, Ravina. I heard I have a mammy that wants to defend this named Sunny. Let me see if I can't get you in here, sweetheart.
I gotta hear this. I gotta hear what she
Are you
gonna
gonna defend that, Sunny? You're on, sweetheart.
I forgot to put hater at the end of mammy. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I haven't seen your comment. Someone made me aware that you wanted to defend Polight.
I think I saw her comment. I think she said, "I'm a mammy. Can I get the link?" But she said she forgot to put hater at the end. Is that what you're saying?
Is that what you were saying, Sonny? You are a
Yes.
mammy hater, or you are a mammy? Which one?
Right, mammy destroyer.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
We about to get on your head real quick.
That was gonna be a whole brawl around this.
I couldn't hold it in. So, can I still talk?
Yeah, you can say what you need to say. I hope you're not going to kick up for these makers. I hope not. I got my fingers crossed. Hit it.
It's a delay, right? There's a delay, or is it that just me?
It may be a delay.
Okay. Okay.
So go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to let you know if I'm talking, I'm not trying to interrupt. There's a delay here. Okay. Okay. I'm glad I got in and y'all not kicking me out for forgetting to put hater on the end. So I was in the live stream that Tanya TKO was in. And I literally
don't say the name.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm new. What I'm supposed to say?
Golden helmet.
Mammy, the ultimate mammy was the self-care mammy. The self-care mammy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it was so triggering that I had to leave. I want to talk about like the point she made. There's a couple of points that she made that were really interesting. So one, she said,
"Thank you, Daisy."
She said that she asked the question, "Is it only 40%?" So when I asked, "Does it matter? Like, does it matter what the number is?" She was saying that she just wanted to get the statistics right. Then she also said that white men train black men to be abusers, and that I guess before white supremacy, that there was no molestation, assaults, etc. in black culture.
That's bull.
Literally said that, and then also said that white men were the biggest number of assault abusers, and I was just like, all the numbers is wrong. All the numbers, because the percentage of black men abusers to the percentage of white men abusers to the population, black men just take it. They take the cake. So this is what I want to say. I thought it was, and then the last thing she said that we need to ask the mothers, why are they given access to these men? Like, how are these men getting access to their children? So a couple of things. First of all, patriarchy precedes white supremacy. So there was stuff happening before white men got on the continent. So I think that's funny. Secondly, those type of societies literally stone men to abuse girls and women. So if her solution is to go back before white supremacy, then we would start talking about stoning men. The other part is like, when do black girls get to be like victims and before black men get to be not perpetrators?
Never.
So it was like, okay, white men are higher perpetrator rate. What's that to do with black girls, number one? And number two, so black men are just victims. Like, if they're just victims, then that's still a problem. The last thing was that girls, the women around girls are giving access to these black men.
Well,
And
once again, nothing is black men's fault, and y'all got to recognize a mammy when you see one. I think y'all do assessments, and the signs and symptoms show, but it's like,
I
no,
was surprised. I
I
was so
wasn't.
surprised because I'm like, how does this
Absolutely
go with
not.
the?
Absolutely not. I mean, you can't be surprised when over the course of the career, quote unquote, there has been
They were
several.
it was two of them on there, and then another.
Hold on one second, Sonny. If you see them doing mammy shit all week and you ignore it, then it's not that you didn't know that she was a mammy. It was you don't want to believe that she's one. It's the same way with these Dusties. When you see them doing dusty shit, all they got to do is be born. I know they dusty. That's it. But if you insist on assessing them, don't ignore the red flags. Not you in particular.
Oh no! I'm saying I wasn't.
Because you have a delay, I have to keep muting you so that we don't talk over each other. But go ahead and finish, okay? It's on you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Not me. I'm not that familiar with her content, but I know the theme of her content doesn't go with like the stuff that she was saying. It's like, what does taking care of yourself have to do with being okay with being a victim and black men being perpetrators? They don't go together. Even though I don't really follow her content, I know that's the theme of it. So that's what I was saying. No, she's obviously one. And I think the interesting thing too is that both of the women were trying to say that they weren't keeping for black men, but they were. My question is, if a 14, 13, or 12, 11 is looking like a woman, you can't tell, how are you even getting access to them? That's what I want to know. Are you hanging out at schools? I don't know if y'all remember that video of that white woman who was going through New York and she was videoing herself being harassed on the streets. Yeah. And it was mostly black men. And then secondly, it was Latino men, and black women called in to saying that they were giving a bad impression of black men and it got taken down. That's kind of what we're dealing with. And it's also where I want to say the numbers. I think if we asked in the chat, I asked how many.
Sonny, is called fin straddling. They keep sending mixed messages because fin straddling is where it's at. As long as you tell black women that they can continue to vet black men, then you'll give them a pass. Cutting them off completely is not where it's at. But go ahead and finish up, and then I'm gonna move on to Miss Magic.
Got it. Yeah, I think the other part is that every black woman that I know has some story of either assault, harassment, like every single one. I would be more surprised if somebody didn't have, like, I feel like 99% of black women have been harassed some kind of way, sexually. And then the fact that they brought up the 60% thing, it's like, do you think so all the reports about the underreporting, and you want to take 60% as like, it's still half. That's half of the pop. If we want to take that, it's still half. Like, there's nothing happening. Like, there's no alarm. And that's the part that bothers me. It's like an epidemic and nobody's ringing the bell. That's all I have to say.
Okay, well, they're just protecting black men, but doing it in a different way. You know what I mean? When you hear the caveats, not all, and let me make sure I got my numbers correct, leaning on wanting to be accurate, but at the same time, knowing that the number is higher, but reporting on the lower number, that's protecting them as well. Miss Magic, it's on you, sweetheart.
Hey, ladies. Hi, everybody.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. So, yeah, back to what the last lady was saying about these mammies, and someone said in the chat, I was gonna say it, but they beat me to the punch. Golden helmet, they said. So she have a subtle way of trying to like finesse like impressionable black women. I want to say black young ladies, because they also listen to her. I know that most of her supporters are like adults, but still like she's trying to like reel them back in to the festivity, saying, oh, well, and I hate when she put on that fake ass coddling baby breastfeeding voice. It's really just despicable to me. And then the rest of them, I have to come up with other names. She got some sidekick mammies,
pick me. I call her a pick me.
Y'all, is she going in and out? Because it's either you exercising or you going in and out, one or the other.
Oh no. You know what it is?
What?
I wasn't feeling well earlier, and then I'm pacing back and forth. So
got you.
And I'm a little nervous too, because every time I go in, I'm all right, because there's so much I want to say, because this is a very touchy subject, because it's like this shit happened to me, and it happened to like countless girls.
Look at that. Another one.
That's
another every time.
Yeah.
You keep listening, you'll hear, oh, it happened to me too.
Yeah.
So that 40% was disrespectful as fuck, man.
Right.
Because that's basically saying, nah, it's not that many. When you all fucked up in the game. Do you know how much therapy?
Yeah.
Anyway, keep going, Miss Magic.
No, I feel you, because that's why I'm like, my nerves is jumping, because they go out their fucking way to protect these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? They go out their motherfucking way to sit there and blame the victim and be like, oh, well, you should, which the other woman said, I'm sorry, I don't got the names correctly. She was like, oh, you shouldn't have wore this, you shouldn't have wore that. I wasn't allowed to be a girl and wear my motherfucking 90 nightgown without putting pants or layers of clothes. I had to wear layers of fucking clothes. And then if something was to happen, unfortunately, she will say, I'm going to say she'll be like, oh, well, you shouldn't have worn this, you shouldn't have stayed up, you should have kept your ass. And then they call you hot ass. You remember that? Back in the day, like hot in the ass.
They did that when I was a little girl too. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh, she hot in the ass. Why she? And you just being innocent, you're not, even with a child, like they only imitating what they see on TV or what they see at home. They're like, oh, she hot in the ass. Look at her. She hot. Yeah, she asking for it. She ready. Yeah. It's so despicable. Oh my God. I just can't, and that's why it's just fucking horrible. And my heart goes out to that girl. And when it's being, and then another thing is, if you try to report it, they'll be like, oh, what about he's going to go to prison and you're going to let the white man get to him? Well, you're damn right. Like, the fuck? Like, who does that? Like, it's
let me get the false prophet together real quick, y'all. I got to get the false prophet together.
Oh, God.
Why? Y'all see, the subject is the pain of girls that were sexually assaulted. This Dusty don't give a fuck about one of y'all's pain. What he wants to make sure that you know is that you need to keep your self-esteem low, and nobody but an ashy ass nigga is going to want you. That's what's on his mind. He says these women are delusional, believing that white men are going to care for them when that never has been the case since slavery. But it's hilarious though. So, Ashy, can you point to the time in history where Dusties took care of black women? I'll be waiting for that comment in the chat. Y'all don't block him. The only thing he's allowed to answer is the years that was actually the case. And if you don't answer that, then we'll go from there. That don't make no fucking sense. Wasn't nobody talking about no motherfucking white men. Y'all are the one that worship white men. We fuck white men, but y'all worship them.
Ooh, tell me about it.
What I don't understand, DC, is okay, with all of these testimonies, and so many black women and girls can tell you the same thing. When will the fuck somebody stand up and just say, besides me and you and all the ladies on this panel, that the black community hates women? It hates its own women, the very women who are keeping it afloat. It hates its own women. And you see these little Dusties running around, who probably, were single, came from single mom households, but not all of them. And they hate women. How? Just say it. Admit this shit.
We know they hate women. We know. Little black girls aren't allowed to be children. Like, they're not allowed to be little kids.
No.
If a little girl is walking around and you saying she hot in the ass, I guarantee you somebody touched her or is still actively touching her.
Facts.
And the fact that you see a little girl in her little dress and think that, oh, I wonder if I can get away with this. That's a problem. You're a fucking creep.
Yeah.
There's no reason a little girl shouldn't be able to wear a dress and walk down the street and not be.
It
Yeah,
should be pedophiles. I can't stand them.
yeah,
They're disgusting.
and a lot of this is coming from their mammy mothers who, when it comes to little black girls who want to do feminine things like get their nails done or, put on play makeup or, walk around in heels around the house like little girls like to do. Like when I go get my nails done, I rarely see black little girls, but I usually, hear that it's white girls, Hispanic girls, Asian girls, whatever. They go to the nail salon with their mothers and stuff. But when it comes to black girls, oh, it's too grown. If she has naturally long hair, she's not allowed to have it straightened because that's too grown, quote unquote. But when it's a white girl, it's cute. And their mothers let them put in a little crazy, colorful, hair and let them express themselves. But when it comes to us, we are policed when it comes to our femininity at a very, very young age. And, I, wasn't necessarily grew up in that situation, but I do remember to a certain extent it was like that for me. And then when I did go to school with other black little girls, I used to really feel bad for them because their mothers will walk around with all of it going on, but then they will have their daughters. I hate to say it, but their daughters, I used to have to look at them for a second and figure out, is that a little boy or is that a girl? And that's how bad it was. And that's just the truth. A lot of their mothers are really in competition with their daughters at a very, very young age. And my heart just goes out to them. And I think that sucks that you have
Trinity?
to,
Trinity.
huh?
Okay, I see what you're talking about and I want to give an amen to that because I would take my daughter to get her mani patties, right? And we would always do girly stuff together. But I have found out my daughter just shaved her hair off. You know, want to know why? She is mixed race, loosely curled hair, and she can't keep the black man off of her. Just even go to the store.
Wow.
She is married with 2-carat diamond on her ring finger. She has to have her husband go with her. And she says, Mom, the hair is more trouble than it's worth. She just shaved that mess off. And yes, beautiful, beautiful locks. She shaved it off because that's the first thing. When she was 6 years old, I had a black man on the 6 train in New York City fetishizing my kid. We sisters, we sisters don't have that kind of hair. She is so pretty. I moved to the next car.
What a fucking weird. Oh my. Weirdo.
Yes.
Daisy, welcome to the panel, sweetheart. That's crazy.
They make me fucking sick. I'm sorry. My blood is boiling. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, why do you look at a child and be like, oh, if you call a little girl, if you look at a little girl and think she's sexy, that's a problem.
They don't think that.
You motherfuckers is weird.
The black community says you hit the wall at between 20 and 25. So I guess you at your sexiest when you're prepubescent. These motherfuckers are sick.
Weirdos. You don't even sexually peak till you're like 30 somethings as a woman. So what the fuck are they talking about? Weirdos. Fucking idiots. Jesus.
You still there, Daisy?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
This whole topic made me think about something I said a long time ago about these men declaring war on us. And I think sexual assault and the R word is probably the most evident way of declaring war on women. Mm-hmm. And I would some people actually laughed at me when I said that, but I'm like, we really need to think about what it means to be in a one-way war with our own men.
It is indeed a one-way war because the mammies they are literally not going to help you. And that's why I shared the link, because I would love for one to come up, but they never do. They never do.
They're cowards. The black men are cowards and the mammies are cowards too.
They are one and the same.
Sure.
One and the damn same.
That's why they're always messing with quiet people who don't say anything. I can't stand them.
Every time we talk about having something to do with being touched inappropriately, it's always about 70% of the chat. And then you go with 40. How dare you? And let me tell you how you know certain folks are a mammy. If you have a 10-year-old daughter, any of you up here, if you have a 10-year-old daughter, would you let her babysit your daughter knowing that she was going to a house full of men. That's how you know. If you cringed at even thinking about that, that person got some real life mammy tendencies. So, but I didn't mean to cut you off. And the beast, it's on you. You is your mic together yet? Because if not, I'm gonna have to make room for someone else trying to come up. So going once, going twice, the beast.
I really want one of these mammies to come up here.
I do, because I don't want them saying I tried, but the studio was full. You know what I'm saying?
I want Helmet Head to bring her bitch ass up here.
Shit. Not while I'm blocked over there. She won't get a word in edgewise. Not while I'm blocked, honey. And I don't want to hear about the white man right now. This ain't even about him. Right. I'm gonna go ahead and remove you, the beast. Okay.
Why would he even bring up the white? Well, you're not even talking about white men. We're talking about how you motherfuckers are touching little girls and little boys because y'all don't care. Y'all don't have a preference. Y'all just like to touch kids. Fucking weirdos.
You know what? This kind of, it's so funny. It's so weird that the not all doesn't apply to anyone else other than black men. That's the only people that it applies to. But when you talk about if they find someone or some white man who did something, they say, "Oh, well, look at that. Well, he beat his girlfriend," or well, they don't actually take care of you guys or don't want you guys off of one instance or a couple of instances, but it's not all.
They all the same. Every last one of them.
On so that same, yes, ma'am.
So Helmet Head can spew all of what she wants to say. Anybody can get on, apparently, the YouTube streets and say falsehoods with false data, but they're mad at you.
Yeah.
But they be over here though. They be over here. They be over here. They be over here trying to see what she talking about.
Signs and symptoms that you're a mammy. You hand wrenches out to Dusties and block other black women. Hello? Is anybody home? Is this thing on? You get what I'm saying? And I appreciate you, Sapphire. But yeah, on that same live, there was a person and let me see. Hold up 1 second. Sonny can attest to this. There was a person saying it's part of being exposed to European culture is why all these awful things happen in the black community on behalf of black men. It's part of being exposed to the R-word culture and things being socially acceptable. So our men took on that same thought process, and now your kids are in trouble.
No, I mean, that's bullshit. Why? How is that? How are they always gravitating toward every negative aspect of so-called European culture then? Why can't they ever pick up anything useful?
Yeah, like protecting their women and children. I agree 150%. I agree.
But just the fact that nothing else is that, like, they can't think for themselves. They can't make up their own minds.
No.
They can't use critical thinking skills. Oh, well, he do this because the white man, I don't give a fuck. Can't nobody make me do shit that's fucked up if that ain't really what I want to do. I don't care what I see or what somebody introduced to me. Like, they just, all the victim. Oh, I'm a victim. I couldn't think for myself. I had to do this. I had to do that. Tired of hearing that shit.
No,
can I say something?
Of course. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. It's a delay again. I don't know why. You know what? Okay. To the point about black women being the gatekeepers to why black girls are being assaulted. One of the people on the panel mentioned that they were married and they don't have anybody. They've never left their kids with anybody. In fact, it took 4 years for them to let this man be around their children.
I don't believe that shit. I heard it too, and I don't believe
and so I'm just like, okay, so it's so weird because it's like, how does your point prove the truth? But something is happening according to this, and so the first thing I caught was like, she's hyper vigilant. Like because I've seen it before. I grew up with people who were hyper vigilant. Like, you're not going around nobody, and I get it, but it's also a symptom that you've been assaulted before to be hyper vigilant like that. And so the thing was, it's like, okay, if you know to not leave your children around any man, how are men not the problem?
She admitted.
I don't get it. Like, and she was saying that black women should vet, and then she was saying that she was a superior mother because she vetted properly. But I'm like, what about the high percentage of girls who are assaulted by their family members, including their father?
Mm.
That's all I want to say. It's just
I agree.
faulty
And Sonny,
logic.
go back out and come back in too and see if we can't get rid of that delay. I heard
Okay,
what you're
thank you,
talking
'cause I
about. I
can't.
believe you 150%, but I don't. She admitted that she had been touched too. That's why I was so taken aback that they were siding with the low numbers. It just doesn't add up.
Can
It
I say?
doesn't. Yes, of course. Go ahead, Trinity.
Oh, I was sorry for cutting you off, but
You're fine.
I was just gonna say that if you have to go on YouTube and tell other Black women to vet, then clearly you know there's something wrong here. Now I know that men, period, can be effed up, but in our community, if you have to say that, oh, you need to vet Black males, then clearly you know that there is something wrong here, because I have yet to see Asian women, white women, Native American women, Hispanic women, whoever. I have yet to see them come on the internet, period, and talk about how we need to vet our men and stuff like that. So, you know, I just feel like they're being very disingenuous when they say that it's not all, and they know that it's too many of them, but because they're still in the shackles of caping for, you know, a group of men, because they're brainwashed too, because they're fence sitters, they know, you know, in the back of their mind that there's something wrong, but they continue to ignore it and still cape. That's why so they know that there's something wrong here. Like, if you didn't really feel the way you felt, you wouldn't be telling us to vet. So that's all I wanted to say. But yeah, I mean, they clearly know that there's something wrong here, but you know, they just whatever. So.
I got a way to vet Black men. Don't fucking deal with them.
Period.
Exactly.
Then you don't gotta worry about it. They're not worth vetting. They're not worth any time or energy. I really be want to spit in them niggas' faces, honestly. But you know, they're a menace to society, so I try my best to stay away from them.
That's the best thing to do.
The person that we're dragging today, as far as I know, has had up to 7 wives at once. Okay, this is the mammy shit I'm talking about. If you into having group sex, that's fine, because really that's all that's about. But I think it's a coping mechanism, because they know that he's gonna fuck other women anyway. So if I say I agree to it, then I'm not being cheated on. Okay, even with all of that being said, all 7 of y'all wasn't enough, because he wanted a child. Do you hear me? He wanted a kid. So no matter how tight you squeeze that Yoni, you're not gonna turn it into somebody that's a child. I don't give a fuck what you do. And the fact that you want to do it is alarming to me. And I don't trust them around children either.
No.
He's going to get past this as well. He's not going to be cut off for this. He wasn't cut off for the millions of other things that he's done. He stole so much money. It's absurd. I'm surprised he's not locked up in a federal prison. But this too is going to pass. Give it 2 weeks and people are going to pretend like they don't know what the fuck you're talking about when it comes to him. Real talk. Let me let Sarah up here and Ty up here. Sarah, welcome to the panel, hun.
Hey, what's up?
Everything and the sky. You got something to add, sis?
Wait, and you know what? There's a little delay on mine.
I don't know what's going on with StreamYard. StreamYards is on some shit, but we'll get through it. But whenever the lag catches up, it's on you. Thank you so much, Richard Lewis.
Hey DC, I'm gonna jump off. Actually, I have to start dinner, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna be listening to you guys. But I'm really pissed. I can't. I've never experienced this personally, but I do have family members who have, and this is yeah. I mean, I'm at a loss for words that this is okay, and people actually think this is okay. This is disgusting, and it's frightening.
It is. I appreciate you coming up, Divested OG. I see you tonight in the Discord.
Oh, this was opinions.
Oh, I'm sorry, opinion.
No problem.
I could have sworn that y'all sound just alike to me when y'all talk. I swear. Y'all got the Queen's English on fleek, okay?
We'll see you on Discord.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Ty, are
Yes.
you? Yes, it's on you, and welcome to the panel, hon.
Well, thank you for having me.
Of course.
So what I just wanted to chime in and say is that when you say the thing about how you think it's way higher than the 40% or the 60% or whatever numbers I've been seeing, I totally agree with you. I myself have not been, touched or assaulted, thank God, but honestly, it has still affected my family dramatically for generations because I have an aunt who used to be involved in a cult in Florida. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of it. It's called Yahweh Ben Yahweh.
Yes,
Oh my
ma'am.
Yeah.
God.
Out of South
Yeah.
Florida.
Yeah. And they weren't loud about this throughout his court case after, he was very big on that whole pro black separatist crap, where really, in my opinion, this is why to this day, as an adult woman, if I hear that hotep separatist, we need to be away from the white man stuff, I just think that you're pretty much a pedophile. You just want to mess
Pretty
with young
much.
girls and not have the cops stop you or anything like that. But this man, he had all those black people living in a warehouse feeding them rice and beans, and my aunt and her mother, when she was a little girl, they were staying there. And if it wasn't for her kind of at least saying something about it in her older age, no one ever probably even known about it. But it's not even in any court documents or anything like that, even though thank God that piece of shit died in prison, the man who was running it. But she herself was sexually assaulted. And it was very common for him to mess with 12-year-old girls, little girls. They were having babies when they were 13. It's a hot fucking mess. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cuss.
No,
but,
you're fine. I cuss my ass off. I'm gonna cuss again when it's my turn to talk. Watch.
But and honestly, it actually wound up affecting her for the rest of her life. And even though she's made some questionable choices, and that ended in a lot of her children being taken from her, and we actually have custody of one of her children because she just could not. I think she just went through a life of depression, and her mother always denying that she was being molested and touched. And I think it didn't. And honestly, her mother had her other brothers in that little cult shit too. And I think they touched her too. Like she probably was being touched by that man, and who God knows who else was walking around there. And I just feel like if that can happen on that level to it being a cult, this is why I actually get scared of hearing, like, if I, even as a teenager, if I heard a black man talking about we should be away from the white man. This is the real black way and all this other stuff. It's some bullshit they made up so they can go around slinging their penises and anything.
Yep.
They don't care. They fuck all hoes. They don't care.
Yep. Every last one of them.
It's disgusting.
They want to isolate you so that you don't have any recourse. That's why they love that defund the police bullshit, because if you can get the police out the way, your ass is grass. They will mow you down with no recourse. You're already not getting any justice for it as it is. But if they defund the cops, there's nobody for you to call. And honey, you might as well get your Yoni egg together, because you fixing to get busy.
Right. And they love to say that the white people are racist, but he got out on bail.
Mm-hmm.
And they did a rape kit and found the kit and found semen
on 6 different spots.
6 different spots, and they still gave him bail.
And you still got mammies talking about they want to wait for the rest of the story. Bitch, he busted 6 times on that child. Are you serious?
Disgusting.
And the cops is somebody who these black kids can call. I mean, they can't rely on they know good mothers and, grandmothers or whoever, you know what I'm saying? So when, mammies are out there protesting for GF and talking about some defund the police and all this other bullshit, it's just like you're being very selfish. You're trying to protect grown men who didn't even fight and die for the liberation of black people anyways. If anything, they were harming black women specifically. But anyways, you're out there marching for grown men, but you're not even thinking about the children. You know what I'm saying? That who may need to call the police for their own protection. You know what I'm saying? Like women and children. So all of this is just bullshit. Like, I can't stand mammies.
Please tell me I'm taking this thing that's on the banner out of context, because I feel like I need to drag this person down to earth. If you say all holes matter, I'm gonna need you to put that in context so I can either agree with you or drag you. Are
you a nig?
Do you have a penis?
Probably.
And when you look in the mirror, do you see shades of brown? Let me know, because that's your ass. for you to be sitting up in here making fun of folks. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I will apologize because I am grown. I'll apologize if I'm wrong. All holes matter that sound kind of crass. All right. Anyway, hey Coco Fit.
Hey DZ, hey ladies on the panel and in the
How are you?
chat.
Hey.
I am doing fine.
Hello.
I'm doing fine. Hey y'all. Listen, what the previous caller was talking about with these Hotep cults, they're very dangerous. I was not part of the Yahweh's cult, but I was part of another cult out of Israel, like the main one, the first Dusties that went to the east. And come to find out while I was over there were a lot of allegations floating around about predators that were going around in the community violating young children. And there was even a video of a young lady who came out as an adult and made allegations about these things going on. And do you know that that leader, rest in peace because he is dead, do you know that the leader didn't do shit about the allegations? Nothing, not throw him out of the community, not have him prosecuted by, the state of Israel, nothing. They didn't
Not
do a
surprised in the
goddamn
least.
thing. And I
Not
was just
surprised in the
disgusted.
least.
And the thing is with brother Polight, he is a fraud. He's been a fraud for well over a decade since he's been in these YouTube streets. And I don't know if you're aware, DZ, but there was a young lady that I guess was working in his bookstore when his wife was pregnant, and she was a teenager. He ended up
I
starting
heard
dealing with
that.
her underage, and now she's one of his wives. And I'm like, this is the kind of shit that they think it's okay. They think that, they want to go with the African time and this went on in Africa. No, bitch, that was not acceptable then, nor is it acceptable now. And I
That's why I
think,
said nothing's going to happen with this situation. It's a conversation piece, but the way
yeah,
that they treat these hoteps and these dusties and ashy sons of bitches, he'll live to see another day. He won't be
right.
canceled because his victim was a black girl. Point blank
And
period.
this
He'll
and the
live to
sad
see another day.
and the sad part about it is I don't understand how there is incriminating evidence, forensic evidence at that, semen on the child's clothes, and this man got bail, and he's a millionaire, and that if it was, let's say, a $200,000 bill, and he had to pay $20,000 cash bond, that's nothing for him because he spent so many years scamming people. This man is worth millions. And even though he's been evicted and put out of houses and lost cars and stuff because he's flossed too much, but I mean, he still has a lot of money, and that $20,000 is nothing. So I don't
Yeah,
really
from what
understand
I
why they
understand,
gave someone like that bail.
he's worth $5 million to be exact. 5
Whoa.
million of black women's money. Take a bow,
Right.
black women.
Good job.
You're the reason
Oh,
he can get
man.
out.
That's
Okay.
disgusting. That's just really sick. And the last point I want to make, because I know there's a young lady back here, Daisy, that would like to speak with you. What about expanding the death penalty to include violators of children and women? I'm not going to use that word, but the ones that are convicted of those violations, the R word and the M word. What are your thoughts on that? Because I really think that I don't know if that would be a deterrent. I don't know if it will slow it down or stop it, but I really do think that we need to get rid of them because there's no rehabbing someone like that. You cannot
No,
recover from that.
no.
There's no cure for it at all.
A lot of people that have done like TED Talks and that kind of shit, they admit that there's no rehabbing them. Why? Because they don't think, let's just say with the LGBT community, that would be like trying to heal them from being LGBT. So
Right.
now the ones that are coddling them are calling it a sexual orientation. Okay. Because you
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I
children.
heard that
Now it's a
too.
sexual orientation. So listen, they don't like white folk at all, but that's one thing the hoteps probably will get with because they love touching children the wrong way.
Right.
So
Yeah.
they'll go ahead and agree with the system on that one. But yeah, I don't think there is any rehab in them. Once it's declared a sexual orientation, if you try to rehab them, they're going to call you a bigot. Okay.
Yeah. Just like that. What is the name of that? I don't know if I can say the name of the organization. I think you know what the name of the organization is. That NAMBLA, whatever the frick organization is. They've been around since the 70s, and they have been fighting for this for almost 50 years to try to get
NAMBLA.
those laws. NAMBLA. Thank you.
NAMBLA.
NAMBLA organization. Thank you for correcting me. Yeah, they've been around since the 70s in like the hills of San Francisco, like in the hippie era and stuff. And they've been wanting to have these laws passed since then. So almost 50
Mhm.
years ago, they wanted to have this shit going on. And in California, apparently, there's a law saying that if a child is 12 and they say that there's something going on, that they think the lowering the age of consent to 12 in California. Please correct me if I'm wrong. If someone
I
is
haven't
in the
heard
chat
that
from
one, but
California.
boy,
Yeah,
I haven't
yeah,
heard that
that
one.
that was something
They're
that was
making
discussed
waves.
last year. Yeah, yeah, that it's sick. It's really disgusting.
They're
I
making
just
waves.
really can't. I really can't. And the last comment that I have is, you mammies, you all ought to be ashamed of yourself, victim blaming
Mhm.
and calling girls fast. I mean, as a survivor myself, I mean, even as an
See what I'm
adult, I got
saying?
victim blamed. I mean, I'm like,
Wow.
I just think it's disgusting, and y'all need to go drink some cyanide. That's what I feel about it.
If you
Drink.
listen to a black woman long enough, you probably, with the stats, have a 62% chance of hearing her say, as a victim myself.
Yeah.
This is whack, y'all. It's whack. And I agree with the other commenter. No, it's not an orientation, it's a sickness, and they need to go ahead and castrate the motherfuckers.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, thank you guys for letting me make my comment. I know Miss Daisy, I don't know if she's still here, but she'd like to
Yeah,
speak.
she's here.
So I'm gonna
Daisy,
go on
just
mute.
Thank
Thanks,
you
guys.
for that.
thank
Thank
you,
you for
Coco
that.
said. I appreciate you.
Oh, you're welcome. I appreciate you as always, DZ.
Go ahead, Daisy.
Sorry about that. But
You're fine.
I'm happy that she said what she just said, because I was also thinking about that. Like, they won't get in trouble, and they do need to bring the death penalty back. But the problem is, black men got so much protection because of black women's political power and our
Yep.
willingness to just vote the way that benefits black men. If black women made it a condition that if you will not vote, get like crucify these men, they would do it to get our vote. But they cater to black men because we cater our votes to black men. So we are literally the ones protecting them through our political power.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I couldn't agree with you more. That's why they're called mammies. All right. Sarah,
Hey, what's up? I hope everything is working now.
yes, you sound beautiful.
Thank you. You do too. What's up, ladies?
Not much. What you got?
Let me. This whole thing is just disgusting. I really, hate hearing, Trinity cry about what happened to her. I too am a survivor.
There it is again. There it
Just
is
like the
again.
countless
Mm.
other women that called in. So I mean, it's like a reoccurring thing. That goes on in Blackistan. And then when you tell them, it's just the same thing. You shouldn't be wearing this. Don't put that on, or don't walk in front of him. It's just all these little tactics instead of going after the person that's actually doing it. And I believe in castration. To be honest with you, I feel like they should be castrated. I believe in the L word. I can't say it because I don't want to get the stuff shut down. But just like your main picture, that man, that's the strange fruit that's on that picture. I'm pro that.
Right.
But they're not going to bring that back because they're the most protected class in society.
They are. Always have been. Always have been, truth be told.
Wait, hold on. Oh, I just want to say I'm not a survivor, thank God. What I was trying to say is that I got yelled at and cussed out by grown men, family members that was over sexualizing me, telling me that I needed to change my clothes and stuff. And that's what I got emotional about, because at 7 years old, I didn't understand, because I was just running around like every other kid at the party, and I didn't understand why I was getting picked on. So I just wanted to clear that up. Thank God, that didn't happen to me, but that just really made me emotional, because I wouldn't do that to a child. Like, you just don't do that to a child,
But it's
yeah.
it was still significant enough for you to be that upset behind it. So it's still harassment.
Yeah.
They probably didn't touch you, but it's still harassment.
Yeah.
Right, that is still surviving, even if they didn't touch you. Just like what apologetically just said, it is a form. It's a form of it, because I mean they're acknowledging that something's going on, basically telling you to change clothes before something happens. So that's still just as gross. Like,
Yeah.
that's Blackistan though. That's what they do.
Yeah.
Let me see. Hatshepsut, is that how you say your name? You had came up and then you disappeared. Are you able to hear what's going on? Hello, is this thing on?
That name is giving me Nick Nog vibes.
Oh shit.
I could be wrong.
Got
The black
3
man is the
seconds.
true king.
I
Yeah,
don't
it
know
was a
what
Nick
Hell
Nog.
no.
It was a Nick Nog. I knew it.
Oh Lord. We're trying to have a serious conversation.
They don't care
all,
about your victimization.
They
all
definitely
that is
don't.
fucking troll.
That was someone that absolutely has a shit log and does not care about your pain, honey. And you mammies, I hope that y'all tune in the way I think y'all do, so that you can see exactly what they think about you and your tears. Okay. And then you have the nerve to come after this side. That's amazing to me. Amazing. Let's see what we got here. Tammy Slayton's barely used toothbrush. How may I help you? That's funny. I don't know who Tammy Slayton is.
Hi, I've spoken
Yeah, she's been here before, I think.
before.
Okay.
Hi everyone.
Hey, you going
Can you
in
hear
and
me?
out though. I can hear you, but you're going
Can
in
you
and
hear
out,
me?
and that's a funny ass name.
Hey, oh,
I'm gonna drop you down. Come back, okay?
I
can you
think
hear me better
everybody's
now?
having a bit of delay.
Yeah, I can hear
Yeah.
you. Earlier lives
Okay.
today was having trouble too. Honestly, I don't know what's going on. Somebody else fell down. Miss Not at all. Thank you. I appreciate your super chat.
Yeah, YouTube don't like when people talk about stuff like this anyway. So
Yeah, they don't, and I don't want to call it a waste of time because it's really not. People come and vent and able to get stuff off their chest, and also you're able to prove that 40% is an absurd number, because it would also reflect in the crowd that's coming here. By my estimation, the people that have been touched or have been touched by someone who's been touched is about 80 to 85% in the audience. I haven't seen one time where there wasn't a ton of ones and then the others were saying, I know some of those people that press one. So to try to make it seem like it's 40%, that's disrespectful. And it's no different than the goddamn Hotep that tried to come up here a second ago, had sip shit or whatever the fuck that fuck boy's name was. Welcome back, Tammy.
Hello, can you hear me better now?
I can. You sound glorious.
Hello. I really appreciate the commentary as always. The other piece that I wanted to add to the conversation, yes, I am also a survivor too. But the
there
thing
it
is that,
is.
like, exactly,
That's
like I can't
ridiculous.
really even like talk to another Black female who has not been touched. So it's not 60. I would even say that it's 90. I would even say that it's 80. It's like it's kind of gotten to the point to where, you just kind of have to assume that all shit logs are deviant. And even
And
like I was reading different books. Sorry.
You're fine. Keep going.
I was reading different books, just how other people were talking about like the different cults and stuff like that. The leaders have always been, especially the Black ones, they have always been sexual deviants. There's not a quote unquote Black sexual deviant, especially when it comes to religion. It's almost like that's their way. That just comes with it. That's almost like you have to tide via like handing over mostly your daughters, but it could be your sons. But even like with my family, it's rampant with like child R-word people. And so I assumed that it was like that's something typical for families. Now, of course, it happened outside of the family, but it was mainly that. And I guess the other thing is that like mammies, they not only like don't believe like they're like when other little girls, especially if it's their son who's the monster who they should have just, had him sucked out anyway. But they will also protect their sons. There's actually a relative who doesn't even have a record because he was doing it as a child to many other children, and then
Mm-hmm.
he just got sent away. But it was the thing about it is that like in our family, and it's not just the whole single mother thing. It started out with like my great grandparents' generation. It was the men who was doing it to the boys, who then did it to the boys, and then the boys then switched over
I've
and
heard that
did it
before,
to
and what they
everybody.
said was that
Yeah.
white folks was doing it to the men, so the men came home and R word the children. That's still excusing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That shit is crazy. A Kebulon goddess. Hi.
Why are you lying on the black man?
Oh my god, this is just ridiculous.
Yo, that's y'all
They don't
means.
care. Those are your kings. They laughing at the shit that happened to that little girl, and they laughing at the shit that happened to you. But go off. Still fuck them though. Keep having them too while you're at it.
But the narrative is that white people are the demonic ones, and white people are the pedos, right? That's and that white people laugh at that kind of stuff, and white people laugh at black pain. That was the narrative that we've been hearing for decades, right? But then you have this troll on here that is coming to our space. Now, look, whether you agree with us divesting or not, and I'm not even surprised. So y'all already know I'm not surprised. But the fact that you don't even have any type of compassion for another human being after they, talking about their stories and stuff, you're a fucked up ass individual. So fuck you.
White people don't give a fuck about what black people are going through. Like they love to make it seem like white people give a fuck. They don't care. Like they laugh at black men. Like you're a fucking joke. Like I think everyone should laugh at you. I think you all should be rounded up and never mind.
Y'all, I see in the chat they keep saying that's a mammy. That's a mammy. I know you think that's a mammy, but I'm
That's
telling
a
you, it's one of them
nigga.
effeminate canes.
Yes.
I know you
Yes.
can mistake them for women a lot because they're effeminate. They don't build. They don't know how to problem solve. They don't know how to do anything that men actually do. So when they open their mouth, you're like, oh, that has to be a woman. No, ma'am. That's Kang shit. That's these Polights and the followers of Polights. And I could call some more names, but I'm not gonna go there because I got some tea on a couple of other ones that I'll be talking about. But that's them. I know it's tempting to say that's a woman. He might as well be. Sounds like one, act like one. I'm talking about, what time is it? It's 8:24 on a Wednesday night. Men right now are either stopping by the gas station, coming home from work, trying to take a shower, doing that type of stuff. But the Kangs, what they're doing are online mocking your pain. It just is what it is. I know it's a tough pill to swallow, but it's the truth. It's the truth. And as far as this Polight motherfucker goes, he ain't going nowhere. I'm up under no delusions that he's going to be shut out.
Right.
At
He's
all.
just a drop in the bucket.
They're still praising the guy that Polight praises, and he's in jail for 100 years for the same shit. So they can get away with whatever. My point is, get your ass away from them, because how do we keep coming up with shit every goddamn week? I go live twice a week, and it's always something to talk about. I don't run out of shit to talk about. Never will. Never will. And it's going to be the same packaging, just a different Dusty. Let's just keep it real. Any old ways. It's back on you, Trinity.
Yeah. Yeah. This community is sad, and my thing to the mammies is just that you, as a woman, will sit here and have a daughter and not protect that daughter is disgusting to me. This woman is going to be like you when she grows up, you know what I'm saying? And for you to not protect her and not have any compassion for her and not to believe your own daughter, to me that's just sad. But anytime it's a boy, then you're instantly protecting them, you know what I'm saying? And I just really feel so bad for black girls that had to grow up like that. Like, I
They,
really feel bad.
they stay on code too, because the video we watched a little while ago, there was a Dusty telling them, well, I was touched too. He didn't give a fuck. It's like, no, you're not getting ready to throw us up under the bus. We need to be able to keep touching children how we want to, and you need to stop bitching about it. They don't care. They are
Yeah.
on code, and they're not speaking in code on their channels either. If you tune into some of the older Manosphere videos, they'll tell you in a heartbeat that they're going out of the country to get with people. What do you think they're what how old do you think those people are?
Maybe
Okay.
14 to
13,
18.
12,
Yes.
7.
Yes. They don't have to leave the country to get a mammy. It's mammies wall to wall here that will love
Yeah.
them and take care of them and do whatever they say. But they have to go somewhere where the age of consent is lower. That's what
Yeah.
basically what I'm saying.
And when we have and when we have conversations like this, I almost always think about that little girl who was a victim of Robert Kelly. And I really just feel so sorry for her. Like, the fact that her parents did that to her. She had an aunt that was selfish as hell, trying to chase her damn music career, and, stuff like that. I really do feel bad for her, because, and then you have a community of people telling you, oh, well, what did you do? Or you should have never been acting like that. Or, it's just, you as a child, as a young, female child, you're not allowed to be yourself. You're not allowed to be a kid. You're going to be over sexualized. You're not allowed to make mistakes, because you're going to have a community of people who bitch about whatever it is that's going on with them, and they don't even protect the children within, that they like to weaponize. So I just always think about her a lot, because I couldn't imagine being in that type of situation where you have people who look like you just blame you for the things that happen to you. And I do feel bad, because someone brung up Aaliyah. I feel so sorry for her as well. So I mean, I just feel bad for all of his victims.
Let me remove this person. Yuri, type in the private chat real quick, because I've had two dust mites come up, and one is my limit. I don't talk to dust bags. It's like sitting up eating a bag of maggots. I can't do that. The beast, you're back. Is your mic working now? All right, let me drop the beast back out, because I got to make sure people can get in, because there's a lot of folks. Wait a minute.
I'm up
Hold up.
here.
Okay,
I'm back
okay.
in as
I was
well.
getting ready to take you down.
No.
What's up, baby cakes?
Nothing
It's
much.
on you now.
Nothing much. It's just every time I listen to you, I just think about my mom that's going through it right now with my little brother. He's in jail, supposedly hard a older woman who he was living with because he's a homosexual. It's tragic.
Wow.
And she's constantly making excuses for him, saying, "Oh, it's because of this mental illness or that mental illness." No, I can't co-sign it. It's gotten to the point where she doesn't even talk to me about him anymore.
Child.
They always make excuses for them. And
Always.
and honestly, it doesn't matter what the age of the person is. You can be an adult. They've walked up to me at work as a grown adult and just and you would think work is supposed to be a professional setting. Everyone's, you know, we're supposed to be focused on the job. They've done that to me at work. So when I hear stories about like Black Wall Street, about the guy who, allegedly touched the lady and then they went to burn Black Wall Street down, I'm inclined to believe that, because if
Thank
they're doing
you.
thank you. If they're doing it now, what makes you think they didn't do it then? I'm tired of them acting as if, people are just hunting Black men down for no reason.
Girl, they try to make it seem like that's not the case, but we know it's not the case. We know that they're dangerous as fuck, and for us to keep vouching for them is disgusting. Yuri, it's on you.
Somebody need to mute their background.
Yes, please.
Good evening. Hi. I'm on the East Coast too. Major
Awesome.
Cloud Watcher, huge fan. But I know you're always saying you're Cloud Watchers, and I'm like, oh, she's talking to me. But I have a question for you ladies. And I understand if it's too heavy for the YouTube streets, as you guys so eloquently said. But why is it that you think, or you all think, that sexual offenders don't get serious time or punishment? Like, one of the things I love about the Middle East is that they go in on the criminals. Why do you think in the Western Hemisphere, these people who rob people of their ability to enjoy their sexuality and their childhood, right, and their ability to develop normally, get to walk the streets within moments of getting sentenced, if sentenced at all? I'm just,
Okay, well,
you know,
first, there's a lot of black women that are victims of that. Now, if the victim is a black woman, you can forget about it. And it's part of the black women always saying that police are treating black men wrong. So you can, like I said before, gently place his hands in the cuffs. And if you say, put your hands behind your back, asshole, they're calling that police brutality. So therefore, you're giving the signal, black women are giving the signal that you don't want these motherfuckers arrested, because every time somebody touches him, even gently, you're calling it police brutality. So they're not going to get the time for that, because you're the victim and you're also the savior at the same time. It just depends on the victim's race, number one, and number two, how many victims. Now, if Dusty has a bunch of victims, then they'll get some time. But if it's just you and your cousin Keisha, he gonna be back on the street with probably probation, if that.
do you think it's because, somebody was saying white people don't care, and I think for the most part that's true. Do you think it's because they just really are like, you like criminals, have them back? Like, I'm trying to reconcile the fact that there's so many sexual deviants within this collection of people of African descent, right, and criminality in general, and in the fact that we're all victims of some crime in some way, but our perpetrators are not being held accountable. And it's like,
They
we
won't
can
be.
go through the whole, okay.
They won't be, because we are the number one victims, right? But then we're also the number one saviors. So if you got a group of men that are 3 times as likely to beat your ass, higher sexual assault rates, high unemployment rates, and this, that, and the third, but the same victims, black women, that group of people, are in the street tearing up the Walgreens, tearing up shit, protesting for those same perpetrators. It's almost like, why should we do anything? Because we take L's on either side. You're reporting it to us, but you don't want us to do anything about it. What's going on, sis? So I would throw my hands up too if I were them, because I'm not going to put your perpetrator in jail and then you start protesting outside my fucking jail.
Right.
Can I
say
add
white
something?
people don't care because they don't care about trivial shit like, oh, well, he's doing this or he's being racist. White people don't care. Like, they don't care about your plight in life and how bad your life is going. Like, being a black man is a mental illness. As soon as you find out you're pregnant with one, I would suggest you go to the chop shop. But that's just my opinion.
DZ, I'm gonna step off, but thank you for having me up here.
Anytime, girl. You ain't got to thank me. I'll see you later tonight.
Professional victims. That's what the fuck they are. And I'm just tired of them, honestly.
Do you think it's like that they've infiltrated the government in some way? Because it's like, how is it that people who roam the streets homeless, right, who don't contribute to society, and also really just crap wherever they go, right, are not being rounded up? It's like, when there's stray rabbit animals, animal control is right there, right? It's just like in every aspect where there's some kind of pest, the pest control is right there.
Okay, what you just said right there. If you saw animal control come out and just round up cats, just round up a bunch of cats, and then the female cats outside the courthouse talking about, hey, give us our cats back, what do? You see what I'm saying? It's confusing as fuck. We are sending so many mixed signals right now. It's damn near schizophrenic, honestly.
Right.
Honestly. But if you let a Dusty tell you, they are being rounded up, they are being targeted, they are being oppressed. They're saying that, but I'm not seeing it. This motherfucker that we're talking about tonight has a bail. He's home.
No, I mean, just to share with you guys, again, of course, I've experienced sexual violence, right? But I was being aggressively stalked by some black guy I truly did not know, and I shit you not, when the cops finally caught this guy, they didn't cuff him or anything. They told him to go stand in the alleyway while they talk amongst themselves, like, so he could potentially run away, you know. And this is on it just blew me away. Like, the whole neighborhood saw this, right? And we're like calling the police because he was a nuisance in the neighborhood. So much so that the neighborhood got a restraining order put on him. We're like calling and calling and calling to get this guy rounded up. Not only did they do that, when they finally arrested him, he's back out during the midst of the pandemic. This is right after the
Your mic is doing some crazy shit every like 4 seconds or so.
Sorry, is that better?
Go ahead, keep talking.
Okay, so like this was wild for me to actually have experienced this. And then this is like the end of May, so we all know what happened at the end of the May last year with that guy who, and the cop and everything, right? So then they let him out 10 hours later, and they say, don't go back to that neighborhood. So of course he goes right back to that neighborhood. I mean, it just blew me away. We're all in this group chat like, racism where?
No, I'm not.
This person should have been riddled with bullets, right? None of that. They barely wanted to bring him in and keep him.
Can I add something to that?
Yes.
Honestly, part of it, to me, I think they're waiting for just the degenerates to eat themselves. They're letting the black
Speak up just a little bit.
They're letting the black community cannibalize itself, and we're just the casualties. We're just the casualties. Yep. They're just waiting for us to weed ourselves out until the point to where we're too weak to do anything, and then they're going to finally snuff us out.
Yeah. Well, that actually serves what they want to have done according to the Dusty population. They're going to let us snuff each other's out. But who is the actual snuffers? Dusties. So you're saying that's what they want you to do, and you're doing it. It's just there's no way to make sense of Blackistani logic. None.
It does.
We're gonna.
Well, can I say this?
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay, so as far as I'm back. Oh, okay. No, echo. I can hear you all. So what's interesting to me is about alliances, basically that the government is against them and almost like pleading for white supremacy institutions to treat them the same way supposedly they treat white predators. Because it's like, and then they disparage us for making alliances with the same supposed system, to the example of like when a black man gets with a white woman. I've seen this, I lived in California. They're likely to really feel some kind of way about black women who get with white men. So they can use like the privileges of white supremacy to kind of slide and negotiate themselves, but they literally trick us into not using the police, not making alliances with any of the power structures. If I go back, I know y'all remember the Snoop Dogg thing, which really, really irritated me. And that the Susan came out with her connections to literally white military power and Snoop backed all the way up. Ricky Smiley came out and he literally made a petition. This is his actual words, that old white women come and basically fight Gail and Oprah on their behalf.
I remember when that happened. It's because they were sicking, the mammies on other black women, because we will jump on another black woman for the sake of a Dusty. Even the so-called women's empowerment folk, gold helmet type people, they'll pretend as if they are for women empowerment. But as soon as you say something about the black male collective, here comes the bailout. No, not all. And what about white men? I am tired of those two talking points. I swear to God.
I mean, the other thing to me that's connected to it is that all those videos of Karen just slapping them, going to town, throwing water, spitting, calling the police on them. The one lady who attacked that man's son in New York, she literally like jumped on him, and the father did nothing. So it's like, you guys, y'all are not. It's not lining up. Like, I don't know any video that I can reference where a black man is like defending himself or attacking a white woman on camera.
Right.
And I'm saying that to say, like, you want to talk about, like, instead of talking about they want black predators to be dealt with the same as with white predators, they want them to have the same freedom. It's so weird to me. It's like, instead of increasing the consequences for white predators, they're asking them to make it fair for Black men to violate the same way, but you guys have almost, I mean, they have free reign, basically. So it's so weird that they have this idea that the police is, the police plus Black women. We have not made those alliances, and I think we should. Like,
Hell yeah.
especially, like I'm a person who's like centered in the community. I'm in Georgia, and grew up with the people who supported York, just that whole, Hebrew Israelites, and just doing
Nubians
work.
and them people.
Doing work on behalf of the community. It's so interesting because I would bring, but I'm like, a bisexual and a feminist. So they would, try to ostracize me, but I always had something for them. But the thing is like, I asked
you're right about us need to make alliances with the cops.
Yeah.
I've already started. If I see anybody in my neighborhood that's dusty, I'm going to call the cops because I know on this stretch of street there's no dusty population. So you're out here looking for trouble, and I'm going to help you find it, motherfucker. I swear to you. Just give them 2 minutes and they'll be here. I'm not playing these games with these niggas. They're not playing games with us. And you have to meet them with an equal and opposite force. That's why I get pissed off when people say we go too damn hard. No, we don't. Have you ever heard any of those videos on the other side? Ma'am, they want pound cake. You remember pound cake? How many of y'all remember pound cake? Pound cake refers to beating your ass, and that they love beating your ass. It's sweet like pound cake, okay?
Wow.
They want you to drown in your piss, your own excrement. They want your children to starve to death. So if I come over here and call them ashy, bitch, kiss my ass. He's ashy. It's nowhere near what they say to us. Child, let me stop before I start ranting. Izzy, welcome to the motherfucking panel.
They can all blow they fucking do-rag off as far as I'm concerned.
Word.
DZ, I have a question for you if I can jump in too. Like, are the cops responsive when you report these guys? Are they like, oh, that's not a crime, or call us back when it's a crime?
I hardly ever see them, so I don't have like a what they regularly do type deal. I was just saying if I saw one, I'm calling because he's not supposed to be out here at all. All of my neighbors are either non-Black women, a couple of Black women, white males, and Asians. If I see a Black male out here, I know he looking to bust some windows out of a car. All right.
Oh my God.
I
Hey,
already know.
DZ, before you move on, I'm gonna go ahead and step off the panel. I want someone else to go ahead and be able to come on up.
Okay,
Don't
thank you
take
for
up too
coming
much
up.
space. Oh yeah, thank you for having me. See you ladies later.
Alrighty, bye-bye.
Every time I see them, I know they up to no good, especially if it's a group of them and you know they ain't supposed to be around. Like,
yeah,
the popo is on speed though.
Word.
You know what? I think like I've heard them. They use the like Black boys have been molested too. They use that literally as like a weapon because one, why do you bring it up? Like, what are you guys doing about it? What are you asking us to do about it? Like, why are you, petitioning us to consider that thing? You do nothing about it outside of us. And then the guy, I know we can't say names, so the basketball player who recently kind of blew up, the ex-basketball player who had the woman on who was sexually assaulted by the news radio person. I don't know which names we can't say, but who was assaulted by the popular radio show guy.
You talking about Kwame Dusty ass? Keep going, girl.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know what we can say. And then Charlemagne, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
He had her on, right? He had her on. He did this thing. This was right when he started to kind of do his climb. So he had her on to share her story, right? Because basically he had this beef with Charlemagne. And he was getting cash apps, like a whole bunch of them, which is already stupid because Black women, the main ones, and this dude is a millionaire. Like, what are y'all doing? But anyway, he was getting cash apps, and then somebody like called him out, like, "Yo, you should be like that should be for her." And he says, he was just like, "Y'all don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Like, just her being on here, people gonna donate to her page." So basically, he taking, it's just so weird. And then once that got over, he wouldn't have her back on. So you're like using
He's
basically
doing what Black men do, pretty
much.
much.
Like associating yourself with it, and it's just
It's on you, Izzy.
Hi.
Hello.
Nice to meet you guys. I was trying to figure out where to start. So I had met a hotep on a dating app a few years ago. That was red flag number one that I ignored. But I was pretty naive. I was a late bloomer. I didn't start dating till I was about 25. So I was pretty naive in that realm of dating online. I was I still am pretty Afrocentric. I'm not necessarily a hotep.
You said
But
you're Afrocentric?
yeah.
Keep
Um,
going, girl.
well, I'm more for like unity in terms of like the global diaspora, not so much
Oh
like
no,
anti.
you killing me. You killing me. Keep going.
No.
I'm gonna hear you out. Keep going, cause I feel it.
Well, yeah. So that was. Well, yeah. So I realized that we weren't on the same wavelength, and I was looking for something serious,
With a
and
black dude?
I'm
and
screaming.
he didn't. I wasn't sure what he was looking for, but he wouldn't stop bothering me, and he kept calling me, and we kept talking. And I kept trying to like keep a distance, but I ended up just like giving in,
Oh my
and finally
God.
met.
What stage are you divested at all? Because let me tell you what I've heard. Okay. I've heard that you are Afrocentric. I heard that you
Yeah.
believe in the diaspora. You're clearly attracted to Dusties and you're giving Dusties a chance. Now, how on earth did you end up on this panel?
You still date white
Come to
men?
Jesus,
I'm
baby.
currently divested from men in general. I'm just focused on grad school.
Okay, that works. And then once you get out of grad school, you're gonna continue to be divested from Dusties, correct?
Yes, definitely. Because
Yes.
I've experienced the dust matter from white men as well. So I'm just really just kind of closing my eyes off away from men currently because the dating pool has pee in it right now, and the
Well,
bar is so low for
the
men.
bar is low if you still fucking with these
So
niggas.
it's
It sounds
hard.
like you still want to
Yeah.
fuck with these niggas. Correct me when I'm saying something wrong. Because if you set the bar high and a lot of these niggas do not meet the standard, then what? What are you supposed to do next?
Yeah, they just stopped talking to me. That's why I haven't dated in a while because
Because
I
black
would not
men
put up with what they're offering, and I just let them
so
ghost
because
me.
black men don't have what you want, you're just gonna divest from all men. Is that what I'm hearing?
No, well, currently yes, because I want to focus on school. But
I think you using school as a caveat. Everybody up here knows that I'm all about education, girl. Education is sexy as fuck. But I think if the Dusty was doing more, I don't think you would be quote unquote divesting from all men. Do you prefer black men?
I don't have. Well, I guess I do prefer.
Oh God, help me!
But I'm prefer. I prefer men of color. Like my lineage. I am black. I'm a black woman, but like my grandparents, they're mixed. But I am a black person. I'm from the Caribbean, so my view on things might be a little bit different in terms of race.
All the Dusties are dusty though. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, there's Dusties worldwide. Like there's
all black men, regardless of their ethnicity.
I wonder what type of white men you were dating. Like, were they in proximity to black men? Like, what type?
No,
as far as
well,
socioeconomic.
I dated an architect, and it was going well, but he was just had ways about him, like he would just ghost for no reason and hit you back up, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna put up with that. But then again, he was going through stuff, so I would kind of like leave the door open, but he was also taking advantage of that. But I decided to just stop talking to him in general. But the type of guys I typically date would be, I usually date Africans.
Oh,
oh my God!
Wait, I didn't even get to the story yet. I'm just
I'm gonna let you
your
I'm gonna let you
background.
talk. Sorry.
I'm looking at your background of my dating. Usually they're like an engineer or PhD student. Like I've never dated anyone who didn't have like a background or like an education or something. But this particular person, this particular person I met in the app, he's very smart. He can do a lot with himself, but he's just letting himself be held back instead of stepping out.
Don't
so
help
I know
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem. I was trying to build him, and
Mm.
I ended up losing myself.
Don't
And no matter
do
how many
it.
times I try to walk away, so
Izzy,
what made me walk away
Izzy,
finally was
Izzy, we getting ready to do a baptism because I feel like you bullshitting a little bit.
no. Let me get to the story.
It don't matter if he make $10 million or if he ain't got zero. If he got $0, a dusty is
The
a dusty.
mentality.
A knick-knock is a knick-knock, and naker's gonna nake.
That's
Yes,
the problem with me. Like I'm an empath. I'm always trying to like what people's feelings and their auras.
I'm
I end up
screaming.
absorbing it, and if they're upset, I end up getting like sad. It's so I have to be careful with my energy because I think people see it as a way to take advantage of me because I'm a very caring person.
Izzy, I honestly think it's just because you prefer black men and you're waiting on a unicorn. Can you admit
No,
that?
but I'm open to
Yeah.
all of them. Actually,
But you
I have a
prefer black
preference.
men.
You
I
know
have a
what? But you
preference.
said about the white man, you said that he like ghosted you. Like I feel like what you won't take from them, like it's 10 times worse with black man. You know what I'm saying? That you
Yeah,
probably are. Yeah, like it's like and you say he was going through something. So that's not the same thing as these
but
horror
they were
stories you're talking
both.
about these black men.
Well mentally.
They always going through
Yeah.
something.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Don't attack her in the comments, y'all.
Oh my gosh, I'm not even gonna read it. But
Don't
so
read
okay,
it.
so
You're learning.
I, so my
The fact that
dating
you came here is a
history,
good thing.
my dating history it's been short. It has been long, but it was only with a few people, and I have good experiences and some bad experiences. But with this particular person, there were some things beliefs we had similar, and I didn't see us becoming something because I want a relationship, he didn't. But just things
Izzy,
happen.
Izzy,
One thing led to another,
Izzy.
and when
I gotta mute you, Izzy, because we gotta do the baptism. Sis, I love you to pieces. But you got to be very, very true to yourself. Just say that the dusty serum has not left your body yet. Okay. And that if you could, you would get with some black dude that you thought was a unicorn. Now, let me unmute you and let's see what you got to say on that. Right?
I guess.
Yes.
That means yes.
But
Scorpio
the thing
Fever
is,
says,
like, I don't. Okay, I understand Dusties can come from different socioeconomic backgrounds. I understand that, and I'm open. I've been open to dating people of multiple nationalities and races. My preference is not just African men. My preference is also Asian men. But again, I grew up with Asian people and Black and African people, so that's where my preferences stem from.
Hold on.
Um,
Sorry. There's a person named Steph in the chat that says white men aren't attractive. Sis, please click the link because it sounds like you need to be
yeah,
baptized too.
yeah,
Like,
because
come on.
we can do it 2 for 1. Let
We
me
had church today.
Yeah, let me rewind my little video because we getting ready to have a little baptism and then we go into the Discord. But we got to have this goddamn baptism. Hold on, I got too many goddamn tabs open. That's what my problem is. Let me
You
get
know when they say that bothers me so much because black men get promoted. They don't understand. First of all, have they seen the
right.
community? Black men are some. I think they probably have the highest obesity. These men are not. We look at like just the common black man and we put some kind of like spin. Our eyes become like we have red rose glasses because they're promoted. Like we're not promoted. They're promoted. It's the dark, BBC kind of guy. And so what they don't realize is they're being programmed because how you not seeing a whole race of people is attractive?
Thank
Like
you.
that doesn't
That
make
makes
sense.
no sense.
Hey DZ, I'm getting
Steph,
ready
come
to
on,
get
girl.
off.
Come
I
on, get
just
your
wanted to
baptism.
say, I just wanted to say thank you for having me on. I'm getting ready to get off because, I encourage people to just watch the content. Izzy and the rest of the ladies who, feeling like they are gonna find this unicorn, just go through Divested Zealot's archive. Just go through her videos, watch the content. There's no way that you could say that, especially after this video. We're talking about them literally touching children.
Right.
And, So I just encourage everybody, get serious, go through the content, okay? And then we'll have a talk.
All right, time to do
I
the
Peace,
I
ladies.
I understand everything everyone is
Izzy,
saying.
Izzy, it's
Wait,
over,
but wait.
honey.
The thing, I'm also a
Mm-mm.
victim of what we're discussing. So
I
I
am
understand.
screaming.
Izzy don't understand, y'all. Hey, hey.
No.
Izzy say it's still some out there.
Shouting.
Hallelujah.
She trying. She trying.
Honey, you got to stop it. Have you seen the stats? Have you seen the stats, Izzy? Izzy,
She
don't look
said that
no more.
she said she
Hey,
was a victim as well. She said that she's been a victim as well. So
listen, that's why it's imperative that you step the fuck off. If you want to take a break from men, that's fine. But when you come back, don't come back to the people that have the worst stats, sis. I don't care that you're from the Caribbean. I don't care if you're from Africa. I don't care if you're from Pluto. These niggas are trash. All right?
Leave my
Hallelujah.
planet alone.
Hey, Dizzy and ladies, I'm gonna drop off too, but I wanted to say to Izzy like two things, which is those sob stories that they tell us is a tactic because they
Yes.
know we have a big heart, and it'll just be a matter of time before he's asking you for money. So just go ahead and put an X in that box, and I'll continue to watch from the clouds. Thank you for having me, ladies. These ladies are the gospel. I've watched your videos backwards and forwards, so please keep up the Lord's work, the Lord's work. You guys are doing it. Thanks for having me. Good night,
I
ladies. Stay
appreciate
safe.
you.
Thanks.
Appreciate you.
Bye.
Okay, so the work that that's not the reason
We
why
finna
I
close out,
called.
Izzy. I need you to go ahead and email me. We fixing to close out because there's some stuff
Okay.
I say to you that I can't say up here because we have a lot of trolls. So
No, it's just that I just wanted to speak about what happened to me in terms of that
yeah,
poster that I was dealing with. So
yeah,
I didn't really call to talk about my dating history. And the white guy I dated, I think he drugged me, so I don't really that
Izzy, can you
see.
email me, sweetheart? I think you want your story
Okay.
out there, and I want to bring you up here properly because there's a lot of stuff going on that me and you need to talk about. Hit me in my Gmail, and we got this. I promise you.
I just feel like I've been taking a joke.
All right, see you soon, honey bunny.
Okay.
Anyway, y'all, it's time to go ahead and drag and close this thing out. Mammies, where you at, baby? You're not going to be able to get past this because if I see you in the comment section talking about the fact that you need to hear both sides, me and you gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it through my troll account, okay? Because you're not fixing to do this. This is a girl who lost her innocence, and y'all won't let it go. These men hate your guts, and if they acting like they like you, it's because they want at your children. Do you hear me? I can't with y'all. You are pathetic. You Yoni egg squeezing, yam eating, shea butter wearing assholes need to knock it off. All right? I'm so glad that y'all stopped by here. If you want to hear the rest of this goddamn roast, you know where to find me. Look at these motherfucking idiots right here. That's another one.
Yeah.
That sector. These idiots are not well. They aren't well. Don't find yourself listening to bitches like this because it's going to be your fault at the end of the day. Wherever that girl is, I hope she heals. I hope she gets therapy. And I hope her mother ain't stupid enough to take her ass back in that house with that flat face, Planet of the Apes looking son of a bitch. All right. Izzy, make sure you hit me up on Gmail. It's all love, but I got to save you, baby, because I think you still want a Dusty, and we can't have that. Thank y'all for coming out. See you girls in the Discord. Peace.